Right now, live at 5, the winter storms hitting the country are also delaying vaccine appointments for people, including those here at home. And that's not the only problem the storm is causing. Millions of people have lost power, and experts say that's thanks to freezing wind turbines. Plus, Wisconsin's governor is set to unveil his budget plan. We have a breakdown of his top priorities. And later on this Fat Tuesday, celebrations look much different, but officials say the pandemic isn't stopping people from traveling.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Welcome to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Wisconsin's state capitol. President Biden is visiting the state tonight for a town hall where he's expected to address the pandemic and most notably the current status of vaccinations in the U.S. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kristen Bakke. As President Biden prepares to address Wisconsinites tonight, we're learning that winter weather in the southern part of the U.S. is impacting people here at home as dozens of Northlanders have had their COVID vaccine appointments suddenly canceled because of the bad weather. St. Louis County Public Health says this week's vaccine shipment, which was coming from Mississippi and supposed to include 400 doses, is now delayed. The county had to cancel 3 clinics set for Wednesday and Thursday in Hibbing and at the Duluth depot. In all, about 120 people will have to wait longer to get the shot. Health leaders say it's definitely disappointing as the delay comes just as they were getting into a good rhythm.
The last couple weeks we've had record weeks with how many vaccines we're getting into arms, and so to just kind of have to delay, it is discouraging, but I mean, we have plans in place to proceed forward.
Those set to be vaccinated at these canceled clinics were supposed to get their first dose of the Moderna vaccine. If your appointment was impacted, you should have already received an email. If you didn't get an email, you can assume your appointment is still happening. As a reminder, right now, St. Louis County Public Health is only vaccinating frontline workers, teachers, and child care workers. Those 65 and older are not currently eligible for county public health appointments. About 2 months into the vaccine rollout, more than 12,000 St. Louis County residents are fully vaccinated. That includes those who had appointments at hospitals, county clinics, or pharmacies. County staff say they have the capacity to give out many more vaccines, but the supply just isn't there yet. Last week, St. Louis County's Public Health Department administered 97% of its allotted doses within 72 hours of receiving them. With cold weather gripping much of the nation, millions have lost power in the south. CBS3's Peter Kebakowskis explains how Minnesota's power infrastructure has adapted to keep the lights on even in the cold winter weather.
With winter weather widespread across the nation, power outages have begun to pop up as far south as Texas as a result of the cold weather. At its peak, nearly 2 million across Texas were without power this week. One reason for that is wind turbines beginning to freeze. Josh Skelton, the chief operating officer at Minnesota Power, explains that the cold weather presents a lot of issues when it comes to generating power.
Like any piece of equipment, in extreme cold, things don't move as maybe they would under normal conditions, or they're more brittle, or you stress demands. During extreme cold times, you're testing the limits of the design.
In Minnesota, 50% of the state's power grid is made up of renewable energy, with wind energy making up a good portion of that. Skelton explains when designing wind power for colder climates like ours here in the Northland, there's more work that goes into making sure they can handle the cold.
With our fleet, we do have some what they call extreme cold weather packages. And what that means is they spend time on things like heating lubrication, using different materials that can withstand lower temperatures for a longer duration, and other auxiliary heating systems. So in our fleet, beyond our normal course maintenance, it starts in the design.
As for when the wind is not blowing, Minnesota Power says they have backups to keep up with demand.
When our renewable assets are available, of course, those are great as. When it's not there, we have a portfolio of other different resources in our mix that can help supply the grid. And it's a difficult balance. It's really complex.
To make sure the lights stay on, even in the toughest of elements.
According to the state, Minnesota ranks top 10 in the nation for generating energy from wind. Well, after reaching historically low levels in January, this cold snap has caused ice coverage on Lake Superior to jump. Here's a live look from Duluth Harbor. The lake had about 7% ice coverage just a week ago. It's now at 32%, according to NOAA. That's a jump of 25% and good news to ice anglers hoping to head out on the lake. Or really any lake, because Dave, earlier today, it felt like such a heat wave compared to what we've been dealing with. Just crazy.
Yeah, the warm-up is beginning very slowly, Kristen. It was cold again this morning with a lot of towns getting into the 30s below. Tomorrow morning, a lot of places to get into the 20s below, so still chilly, but getting better.
Yes.
And by taking a look at the map, you can see tonight's de rigueur wind chill advisory is covering a smaller footprint than it was last night. Last night, the whole area was facing the wind chill. Now it's only the inland parts of northern Minnesota. So slowly and surely, we're getting there. Taking a look at the bigger picture here, Arctic high pressure, though, still has control of our region, keeping storm systems at bay. The bigger storm, of course, is now affecting folks on the East Coast. That's the doozy that was in Texas just yesterday. Well, we've got a slight chance coming our way for a little bit of snow tomorrow, but really just light stuff, and pretty late in the day as well. But I'll give my latest theories on how much could come across while the high temp hits 10 above tomorrow, coming up in just a couple more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. Minnesota state officials are advising people to stay vigilant as more cases of different COVID-19 variants surface. During a call this afternoon, state officials say they're concerned as health officials have seen an uptick of variants. Officials say at last count, Minnesota had reported 40 cases of the UK strain and 2 cases of a variant originally detected in Brazil. As more vaccines roll out, health officials say this is not the time to get comfortable just yet. Northern Minnesota business owners are concerned as Canada enforces tighter restrictions on non-essential travel across its border. Canada has kept its border closed to non-essential visitors for nearly 11 months because of the coronavirus. New measures require COVID-19 tests when entering the country. Many northern Minnesota business owners view this as a move in the wrong direction. Some Minnesota border businesses have been saved by in-state residents heading north during the pandemic. However, the closure has taken a toll on resort owners who have been hoping for looser restrictions or some exemptions. Just a reminder, we have set up a local vaccine information center on our website to make sure you can stay up to date on the very latest information as it becomes available. You can find that on CBS3Duluth.com. In just a few hours, Wisconsin's governor is announcing his bounce-back budget plan, hoping to help the state recover from the pandemic. Tonight, Governor Tony Evers is calling on the Republican-controlled legislature to pass the 2-year budget. Parts of his spending plan include legalizing marijuana, allowing local governments to raise the sales tax, and expanding Medicaid. After Evers presents his budget, Republicans will revise the plan and pass a new version later this summer. The governor's address will be streamed at 7 p.m. on our Facebook page and website. And coming up tonight at 10, we hear from a senator representing northern Wisconsin who shares the impact this proposed budget could have on the community. Voters across Wisconsin are hitting the polls for the spring primary today. Voting locations are open until 8 o'clock tonight, and absentee ballots can be dropped off until polls close. People will be voting for the state superintendent and more than 100 local positions around the state. While there's a lot on the ballot, election officials estimate only about 10% voter turnout. Despite that, strict election standards will be met.
Each of Wisconsin's 1,850 communities still need to prepare their polling places and recruit and train poll workers. There are the same pre-election tests of voting equipment, as well as the 3 levels of certification of the election.
Winners of today's election will advance to a general election in April. Still to come on Live at 5, longer hours are coming for the recycling center in Cook County, plus a birthday wish come true in Ashland. City by City is up next.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS3. Get local vaccine information all at CBS3Duluth.com.
I had gone 20 years essentially without smiling. My dental phobia was strong, and the idea of coming in and being able to sleep through the whole thing, that's heaven. That right there is heaven. In terms of an experience, I promise you, it will be the easiest dental experience you've ever had.
Never be afraid at the dental office again. Call us today for a free sedation consultation.
Attention oxygen therapy users.
I was on oxygen tanks and I couldn't go anywhere, do much of anything. I didn't dare go far.
It's time to reclaim your independence with an Inogen One oxygen concentrator.
I got my life back. I really love my Inogen.
Inogen makes its own oxygen from the air around you, so you'll never worry about running out of oxygen again.
Do I think Inogen is worth the money? It's worth every single penny of it.
Call now for your free information kit.
Greg ended up being a fantastic candidate for a partial knee replacement. We have the advantage here at Memorial Medical Center to use Corey, which is a robotic platform for doing knee replacement. In Greg's case, the system allows us to go in, we do a 3D mapping of his actual knee. Then we can do a simulated knee replacement where we can change the size of the components, the type of component that we're going to put in. We can change the position of the components in 0.5 millimeter increment and 0.5 degree. It gives us a level of input and information that we never had before.
Join us at Ray's Sport and Marine, February 19th, 20th, and 21st for our annual in-house boat show. Shop our great selection of London Crestliner boats with over 30 available models on the floor. Or place your order for your new boat before it's too late. Chat fishing with top local Lund, Crestliner, and Bennington pros. And get all your electronics questions answered by factory reps from Lowrance, Humminbird, and Garmin. For more information, visit raysmarine.com. Rays Sport and Marine, when your passion is the water.
Welcome back. If you are struggling financially due to COVID-19, there is help available. Plus, a sweet birthday wish comes true for a local boy. All of that and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. We'll start things off in Cook County, where the recycling center has now increased its regular operating hours by opening the facility to the public on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Here's a look at the new hours. Officials anticipate there will be a large turnout for dropping materials off, at least over the first few Saturdays. And they're asking that you still adhere to CDC guidelines for the use of the drop-off bay. And if there is a line of cars waiting, that you do not block the fire hall driveway. Now to the Iron Range, where the United Way of Northeastern Minnesota is reminding locals about financial help that is still available. The purpose of the United Way's COVID-19 Crisis Fund is to provide financial support to those living or working in the nonprofit service territory and whose jobs have been impacted by the current COVID-19 pandemic. Individuals and or families impacted must demonstrate a financial loss on or after the governor's emergency executive order dated March 13th of 2020 to request approval for support to cover basic living expenses. For more information and to apply, you can visit our website, CBS3Duluth.com. And a birthday wish has come true for a very special boy. Through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Jace indicated he'd like to be a K-9 officer for a day. And 3 local K-9 teams were happy to help make his wish come true on his special day. Douglas County Deputy Witt and K-9 Talon and Deputy Fossum and K-9 Sam, along with Superior Police Sergeant Harriman and K-9 Lacka, were among K-9 teams from around the region who gathered at the airport near Ashland yesterday. Along with letting him meet their K-9s, they presented him with some special gifts from the Northland K-9 Foundation. Happy birthday to Jace. We hope your day was as awesome as you are. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city. Still to come, many of us want to get out of the cold and into the sun, but the CDC says right now might not be the best time.
Record below for this date, record low temp for this date is 30 below zero from 1973. Look at that, Duluth got within 2 degrees of a record here. But temperatures are slowly warming up. We hit 13 for a high today. We just might be able to do that again tomorrow. When will we be able to say goodbye to negative numbers? I'll show you with the 7-day forecast in a few more minutes.
Wash your hands. Wear a mask.
Mantén distancia. Stay home when you're sick.
Slow the spread.
We can do this together. New name, same great service. Auto Care Collision Center has joined the CarStar family, and we're ready to serve the Northland. Call CarStar Auto Care Collision for your auto body repair needs.
We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
Hello.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Holden Insurance Agency if auto owners make sense for you.
Hi, I'm Steve Little with Bath Planet. It's time to welcome the new year with the bath of your dreams. With our Say Goodbye to 2020 sale, we're offering 20% off labor, 20% off material, and no interest, no payment, and zero down until 2022. All of our products are backed with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval and a lifetime warranty. For a free estimate, call us today or visit us online at bathplanet.com. Bath Planet, out of this world service, down to earth price.
Last year, when people were going hungry, Subaru and our retailers donated 50 million meals to Feeding America. And yet, 1 in 4 children may still face hunger. So as part of our love promise, Subaru and our retailers are doing it again, donating an additional 100 million meals to help those in need. Love, it's never been needed more than right now. Subaru, more than a car company.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Every day during your birthday month, you can receive up to $30 in club cash.
Coming up tonight, the steps Minnesota Power takes to keep the lights on during the cold weather.
With sunshine and temperatures above zero today, it felt awfully warm. Will it stay that way? I'll show you the 7-day forecast.
Tonight at 6 on CBS3.
Local news and local weather here on CBS3.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Cold again this morning, but hopefully the last really bitter cold morning. How bitter was it? Well, let's take a look at the temperatures. 36 below International Falls, 33 below for Hibbing Chisholm, 28 degrees below zero towards Proctor and Hermantown, 31 below even down south in Moose Lake, 27 below for Hayward, 8 below Ironwood, one of our hot spots. Ignore the 9 above in Ely. They've been having some trouble with the reporting system there at the airport. And hopefully now that it's registering a number, that's a sign it's getting fixed and they'll start working again soon. Although I notice Siren isn't coming in at the moment, so now maybe the problems have shifted to those folks. Best wishes to everybody keeping their automated systems going and temperatures like this. Tomorrow morning's going to be chilly again, but not as cold as this morning. So we call that part of the slow warm-up that's coming around this week. Boy, and the days are getting longer, too. Look at this gorgeous shot coming in from Two Harbors. Beautiful day there. And 11 above. Holy cow, that's nice after 10 days of sub-zero weather. 37% is the relative humidity. Southwest winds going 8 miles per hour. And it should be going slow enough for most of the region here tonight where only a chunk of northern Minnesota gets the wind chill advisory and the rest of us get a bit of a break from that. All right, looking at current temperatures, 12 above in the upper peninsula. Northern Wisconsin temperatures are running about 11 to 13 above. And in Minnesota, it's going anywhere from 7 above up the Gunflint Trail to as warm as 11 in Hermantown and in Grand Rapids. So positive temperatures. Could do the same again tomorrow. Overnight low temps tomorrow morning, like I mentioned, still could be fairly brisk below zero, but by the weekend, even those should go above zero. And then a warm spell begins next week, which could stick around for a little while. Well, we've got a little bit of cloud cover covering part of our Doppler map here. Hopefully we'll make that go away by 6 o'clock here. That's not a proper look at the cover. A little bit of ground clutter, you could say. But if you look through it to the moving clouds, that's just a couple clouds popping up here and there. Despite the presence of the Arctic high pressure, that's still got a hold of us today, even though it's losing its grip just a little bit. And tomorrow it'll lose its grip a little more and migrate over to the east just a tiny bit, enough to allow a weak low pressure system to come our way and bring Wednesday afternoon and evening a 30% chance for some flurries that may add up to about a half inch. Not that big of a deal at all. And then getting into Thursday, as the low migrates to the east, I think the flurries will dry up, but the clouds will linger. Thursday should be cloudy but dry and a little bit warmer than today, as each and every day gets just a hair warmer as we go through the weekend. Tonight, forecast-wise, low temps 10 to 25 below. Still brisk, but not as bad as this morning. So improving in Minnesota. Wisconsin, Michigan, low temps, about 15 to 20 below, but no wind chill factor to worry about, so improving there as well. And then tomorrow's daytime highs, 12 to 17 above for Wisconsin and the UP, with a 30% chance for that afternoon half-inch of snow. Minnesota's high temps run from 9 to 12 above, with a 30% chance for those afternoon and evening flurries as well. And then with the extended forecast, we'll creep towards 15 for Thursday, Friday, 20 for Saturday, 25 on Sunday, then 30 on Monday, with our next light snow chance, and maybe even much warmer than normal at 32 by next Tuesday. Turnabout, Kristen, as usual, being fair play in the sky.
Thanks, Dave. Here's a live look from New Orleans, where Mardi Gras has arrived, but officials in the tourism-dependent city are not hoping for big crowds during the pandemic. All parades are canceled, and bars throughout the city have been closed since Friday. Following that message, the CDC is encouraging Americans to avoid all travel to more than 160 destinations because of high COVID-19 risk. While that warning includes Mexico, Americans are still flying there for getaways. Popular all-inclusive resorts are adding safety measures and free testing now that the U.S. government requires a negative COVID test result to re-enter the country. Wendy Gillette looks at some of the changes from Cancun, Mexico.
Renee and Rich Jelinski from Pennsylvania decided to honeymoon at Secret's Playa Mujeres Resort in Cancun, Mexico last year. They made their choice partly because of the resort's safety precautions rolled out during the pandemic.
I actually feel safer coming here than some places probably in the U.S., unfortunately, sad to say.
The CDC has a level 4 warning to avoid travel to Mexico because of high cases of COVID-19. Popular all-inclusive resorts like Secrets are increasing safety measures. Secrets is part of AM Resorts, which has locations in 8 countries. The company implemented the Clean Complete verification program in all of its hotels.
It's to build traveler confidence and let them know that we take this very, very seriously.
Among the changes, items in rooms are sanitized and enclosed in vacuum-sealed bags before a new customer checks in. There are sanitation stations and temperature checks around the property, and staff members are always masked. At nearby LeBlanc Spa Resort, which is part of Palace Resorts, the brand's 250-point safety plan includes electrostatic spraying, reminders about social distancing, and no more buffets. Staff members are screened and walk through a disinfecting fogger before their shifts. Free rapid antigen testing is also available for guests at Palace Resorts, and a complimentary 14-day quarantine if they test positive.
You just schedule the appointment 3 or 2 days prior departure, take the test, 5 minutes, and you're ready to enjoy the pool again.
The company also shut down its swim-up pool bars at all of its hotels to try to minimize in-person contact. AM Resorts opted to keep its pool bars open.
The decision is because we want to make sure that we have safety in mind, but we don't want to take away from the experience that our customers have become accustomed to.
We got special rates to see the safety plans in action. Guests get a dollop of sanitizing gel along with their drinks. AM Resorts also offers free rapid tests and quarantine if positive. Anyone flying back to the U.S. must have a negative COVID test.
And the CDC advises against travel, but says if you do, wear a mask, avoid crowds, stay at least 6 feet from others, and wash your hands often. Coming up, it's time for our adoptable pet of the day. Why Humane Society staff say this girl would be a great fit for your home.
The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss. When you have a 2-inch lift, rugged Goodyear Duratrac tires, and Rancho shocks, when you have all that, the last thing you'll need is a road. The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss, ready to off-road, right from the factory.
Get all of this and more in a Silverado Trail Boss for a great value. Use a $4,250 cash allowance on all 2021 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups. Plus, eligible GM card members can use an additional $1,000 in bonus earnings toward their purchase.
Complying with national guidelines is made easy with the Cetus Commercial Touchless Forehead Thermometer. The Instant Read LCD digital display yields an accurate body temperature reading from 2 to 4 inches within half a second. From schools, offices, shops, and all other public places, keep yourself safe and compliant with a hands-free thermometer that's easy to install and easier to use. Visit www.cetusonline.com. That is CETUSonline.com.
We can help you at Ketamine North Infusion Center.
In public safety, we see things that sometimes you can't unsee. After these infusions, everything just kind of turned around and I was able to start enjoying things again.
To learn more, give us a call or visit us online.
Like saving money on things you like and want? It's time to shop Northwest Outlet. Save up to 50% off on all Northwest Outlet's massive inventory. And that includes all Columbia and all the North Face with all the latest styles, colors, and sizes up to 4X. We're not done yet. Up to 50% off. Hats, gloves, mitts, snowsuits, pants, jackets. It's all here in stock now. And up to 50% off. Northwest Outlet, the area's favorite clothing and sporting goods store. 1814 Belknap, Superior.
I can't even hug her. I'm touching people. I'm touching you. I'm touching you.
This show is about connection. And not even 2020 and socially distancing ourselves, they're going to get in the way of that.
Are we 6 feet apart?
Let's just check it out.
The major key is to make sure they watch the Kelly Clarkson show.
I don't think any other year is ever going to be like 2020. I never thought that I would go through something like this ever in my life. This pandemic's not a isolated thing to our country or to our state or to our city. This is something that's affecting the world. And that just shows really how interconnected we all are. And I think that's why news is so important, because news is kind of like that lifeline to kind of bring that information out and bring us all together.
Watch Jenna and Caitlin in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m. Get local vaccine information all at CBS3Duluth.com.
One of the Duluth Police Department's newest additions will now have an extra layer of protection. Canine Billy received a bullet and stab-proof vest. A nonprofit called Vested Interest donated it. It's embroidered with a tribute to former DPD canine Haas. Well, today's adoptable pet comes to us from Precious Paws Humane Society in Chisholm. Everyone meet Johnny. Johnny's come a long way from the day she arrived at the shelter. She's still not a lap cat, but she does enjoy having people pet her and purrs like crazy when getting attention. She has an independent personality, which she shows when she walks around the shelter getting exercise and satisfying her curiosity about the place. Our friends at Precious Paws are hoping to find her a calm home where her new family will allow her the time she needs to settle in and learn to trust them enough so she can become the loving kitty she is destined to be. If you'd like to set up an appointment to adopt her, you can call the number on your screen. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health St. Mary's Heart and Vascular Center. Don't avoid care during COVID-19. Ask your doctor how to stay heart healthy.
Last year, when people were going hungry, Subaru and our retailers donated 50 million meals to Feeding America. And yet, 1 in 4 children may still face hunger. So as part of our love promise, Subaru and our retailers are doing it again, donating an additional 100 million meals to help those in need. Love, it's never been needed more than right now. Subaru, more than a car company.
Be a little bit brave. Don't never be afraid to.
Got a couple questions.
Do you think it's time for schools to reopen?
We are still talking about the story, and rightfully so.
When's the last time you went back to Appalachia?
It's been years. A lot of old ghosts.
The monsters among us aren't aberrations. They're a reflection of who we are.
This agent needs to be out of rotation until she can heal from PTSD of the most egregious kind.
This is going to get very ugly.
Our schools provide so much more than just learning support.
The school year didn't start out the way that we wanted it to, but who's to say it won't be better at the end?
We need to slow the spread so our economy has a chance to recover.
So our kids can be in school and be on the ice.
And we can keep our friends and families safe. For our students and teachers.
For our essential workers.
For the people you love.
Thank you for doing your part. Go Hunters!
Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men, celebrating 30 years in business in 2021 with 30% off store-wide, downtown Duluth.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Canal Park on this Tuesday evening. Let's take a look back at today's top story and see what's coming up at 6. Dozens of Northlanders have had their COVID vaccine appointments canceled as winter weather slams the rest of the nation. St. Louis County Public Health says this week vaccine shipment, which was coming from Mississippi and supposed to include 400 doses, was delayed. And coming up tonight at 6, while it might feel like we just ended the election season, Minnesota's party leaders are already looking ahead. That's because the 2022 election will have a ballot full of races as the governor, attorney general, members of Congress, and all 201 legislative seats will be up for re-election. What the parties hope to accomplish tonight at 6. That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is next. We'll see you right back here at 6.